My primary role is working as a psychotherapist there, where I work with adult individuals and couples. And I also assist with psychological assessments. And those will vary based on the different purposes or needs for the assessment. So that can be anywhere between WSIB to medical legals to medical malpractice assessments, and mostly things of those sort. So primarily, I like to work out of an integrative approach. So what that really means is it's not using one specific theoretical orientation, but it's pulling from different ones that are more, they fit better with what the client needs themselves. So I work a lot out of a psychodynamic psychoanalytic framework, but I also will use interventions and tools from cognitive behavioral therapies, DBT, emotion focused therapies as well. So it's really figuring out what the person needs and how these different modalities can help them. Primarily, it's working with relationship difficulties, as well as trauma, depression, anxiety. I've worked a lot as well with career transitions, managing stress, emotional regulation, and anger difficulties too. I think there's two parts there. I think the first part is I love working with people. I mean, it's a helping profession. That's always been a part of something I really wanted to do, is how can I help others? And the other part was just the fascination of the brain and what makes us human, what makes us behave the way we behave, what makes us think the ways we think, our conscious mind, but also the subconscious mind. I think one of the most interesting things is just learning how resilient the brain is, especially just us as human beings. Um, Sometimes we don't even understand how resilient we are, right? So we show that, I mean, we adapt to our environment so well, whether it's good or bad. And sometimes we have even no recollection of, this is everything I've been surviving my entire life. So I think the resilience piece is definitely one factor. I mean, we can see that on a neurological level, right? Where there's neuroplasticity is how our brain will literally develop new pathways and adjust to whether it's emotional difficulties, but even if there's physical abnormalities that happen in the brain. Definitely to check in with ourselves. I feel like life is so busy these days for all of us. Everything's go, 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 whether we have work, families, everything's on the fly. And I think that we sometimes get caught up in that. We don't really take a step back and check in with ourselves in the sense of, where am I at? What do I need? Right? Whether it's taking a moment to reflect, has it been a really stressful week? Do I need to schedule some time to relax, or do I feel depleted? And let's say I want to engage in more things. So I think checking in with ourselves is something that's really important. And we sometimes neglect that. I think we all develop ideas of what therapy is like. So for instance, what we might see on TV, and I'll be honest, those aren't the best representations of therapy sometimes. So, the clients that would come in and they're expecting, an older gentleman in like a tweed jacket with a couch laid out where the client's going to lie down. So I think that they're surprised to see how much it's just a genuine connection and therapeutic relationship two people are building. That it's per se, it's two people interacting. It's a different dynamic. It's not as cold as it's sometimes portrayed. You'll see on TV, you get the silent, closed off therapist that doesn't say a word, right? Where I think it's to their surprise sometimes that it's not really like that. And it's more of a comfortable experience than they might fear sometimes. I love to cook. Definitely something I've really honed in on during this lockdown. Whether I'm good at it or not, the jury's still out there. I like to tell myself that I am. When I have time, definitely anything on the grill or barbecue, I love. Been cooking a lot of seafood lately too. That definitely took a little bit of practice to master. And yeah, I like trying new recipes as well. Watch YouTube videos. I'll pull things out of books. Learn what I have to do is I will technically now schedule it in, because I noticed that if I don't actually prioritize and put it into my calendar, sometimes it gets neglected, right? And it's kind of earlier to the point that I mentioned as well, as I like to check in with myself to kind of feel like, okay, what do I need right now? Has it been a stressful week and I feel really depleted? If that's the case, I can just sometimes go for a walk, read a book, grab a coffee, watch some Netflix, whatever it might be. Or if I feel that my central nervous system is way too active, right? I need to burn off some energy, play a round of golf with friends. I'll go to the gym. I like to get moving because that really helps as well. So it's kind of figuring out what I need and utilizing it in that way.